Oh boy, we're doing Twitter hashtags again. This time it's hashtag sex is great, but... Let's go. Sex is great, but then they start talking. We're off to a great start already. Sex is great, but I prefer not to get all gross with body fluids. That's the best part. Is it? I've never had sex, someone tell me that's the best part. Sex is great, but so was the depression. 1930s jokes. Sex is great, but the concussions from the headboard aren't. Sex is great, but let me stick it in your ear so you can really hear where I'm coming from.
That was a bad pun. That was a shit joke. Real bad pun. You should be ashamed.
Sex is great, but they always say that'll be extra or I'll call my pimp. Sure, sex is great, but can I nap first? Sex is great, but have you ever tried deep conversation? Yeah, that's how you get to the sex. Sure, sex is great,
but making love is better.
Sure, sex is great, but remember that feeling when you get into fresh and clean bed sheets. That's a good feeling, not gonna lie, that's a good feeling. Sure, sex is great, but frosted flakes are great! Oh, whoa, hold on. They're called frosted flakes in America? Is that a thing? They're called frosted flakes? Over here they're literally just called frosties. Sure, sex is great, but can sex change a tire for you? Sure, sex is great, but cheesecake is less work. Sex is great, but so is self-love. The special talent is masturbation. Sure, sex is great, but have you ever tried to clean the house while horny? Now I can put this on YouTube because these are just cleaning supplies. That's all these are, cleaning supplies. If this was Tumblr, Tumblr might think there was something. No, these are just cleaning supplies. Don't take down this video, they're just cleaning supplies. Sure, sex is great, but my wife doesn't enjoy it as much as my girlfriend or her mother. Tommy, you're hard to love. But you're even harder to hate. Look at that smile. Sure, sex is great, but you might die. Fucking hell. I've seen some big girls in my time, but she is a big girl. Sure, sex is great, but the fear of Mr. Buzzy waking up the husband is much more terrifying. Sure, sex is great, but so is tossing a paper ball across the room and it landing smack in the middle of the trash bin. Sure, sex is great, but revenge is so much better! Sure, sex is great, but have you ever tried fucking yourself over instead? Sure, sex is great, but have you ever popped a whole sheet of bubble wrap? Sure, sex is great, but can we do it on the sofa so I can watch TV at the same time? Sure, sex is great, but a skiing story is much more interesting to your friends. Sure, sex is great, but can you remind me what your name was again, please? And I think Marilyn here has got it all summed up in one. Sure, sex is great, but more sex is better. So I think that'll do it for this Twitter hashtags video. Honestly, this was basically just like a little filler shit post in between the stuff I've got going on for Christmas. That'll be coming up soon. Stay tuned for that. I'll see you all in the next... Fuck.